She won't sign up though, but that's another story. But she's been with me for 4 years and she's become a great friend. And yeah, so go for the 1 and then you can work on the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and so on and so on.
I love it.
So that's what I got. Yeah.
I love it. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
Obviously spiritual over here. Just reminds me of like even Christ going after the 1, just like
Yep.
how important it is and how much we love when someone goes after us and we are the 1, so I think that kind of goes back full.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
Full circle. So super, super awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm seeing Sadara, are you on? 1 second as she gets going. Sadara is up today, so we're super excited to have her. But
forgot.
Are you good? If you're not, you're totally.
I'm not good. No.
Okay, I'll take it. That's fine.
Good.
Okay.
I totally forgot.
You're totally fine. That's why we're here for each other.
I didn't even get on with Eric.
All good. You're all good. Sadara, you're totally fine. That's what's awesome about this group and everybody that we do that we're here a part of this, and that's our culture. Like, guess what? No shame, no guilt, and we're good. We'll make it out. We'll make it work. Okay. So, thank you so much for everybody joining us over on Facebook. Sorry that took us a second to going. His training did go over a little bit, but awesome, really, really cool content today with talking about overcoming objections. So he kind of did a little audible or like a pivot today and talking about overcoming objections as you're talking to people. And he talked about the types of objections that you normally face. Everybody, there's always a trend in objections that you normally face. He talked about that. And he talked about 3 different types of objections, of like phases of how, like what he went through when he was dealing with objections during his like experience as a network marketer. And then he gave 4 main ways, 4 parts of dealing with objections. And I absolutely love this. I've heard his 4 parts before and I absolutely love it. So we're going to kind of get going because there's actually quite a bit to go. But we're super excited to be here. I'm super excited that Sadara, guess what, Sadara, you get to join us. If you have any nuggets, you get to join in with me too. So throw down with us while we're here. But super excited that you're all here. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm seeing Stephanie, Robin, Bill, Kim, Suzanne. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Really, really appreciate you guys being here. And everybody over here on Facebook, thank you guys so much. Great day to be alive, you guys. I'm super excited. It's actually sunny out here finally in Utah. We had a very long winter, so we actually love the sun out here. So anyways, getting going. Okay, so overcoming objections. So he kind of like went into objections and the types of objections that we face. And he really boils down to any types and all types of objections into 2 main categories to simplify this. Because sometimes we hear an objection and sometimes we get a little honestly a little overwhelmed or we don't know how to handle them. Okay. So objections are like, hey, I don't have the money. I don't have the time. What are other ones? Oh, this is a scam. I don't want to just sign up my friends and family. I don't know anyone. I don't want to be a salesperson, all this types of things. And he said that the 2 main ways that all of these things boil down to is 1, they have a limiting belief about themselves or about network marketing. All objections boil down into those 2 categories. And so as objections come up, he knows how to like handle them differently. Okay. So for an example, if a scam comes up or a pyramid scheme comes up, or you bother your friends and family, those are limiting beliefs about network marketing. Okay. And as we get into the training a little bit further, we'll talk about how we handle these ones. Okay. But all of those deal with a limiting belief about network marketing. So we have to educate them and relate to them. And we'll talk through that again. The other one is self. It's like, hey, I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I don't have the support. I don't want to be a salesperson. I don't know anyone. These are all kind of limiting beliefs about ourselves that we can kind of help and handle. Okay. So as he went into these, he kind of talked about in his journey, he talked about there's 3 main phases that he went through. At the beginning of his phases with dealing with objections, he said at the beginning, I would just avoid conflict. And so if anybody had an objection, it felt like conflict and he wanted to avoid it and he would just agree with them and run away. Oh, you don't have the time? Oh, that's totally fine. I'll talk to you later. oh, it's a scam. Yeah, like I know I get that a lot. It's okay. Like this isn't for you then, right? That was his first phase. And how many times do we do that when we get a little scared that it might seem like conflict and we want to avoid it, right? Like I'm sure we can all relate to that, where it seems scary to want to talk with them about this. And it might seem like we're a salesperson if we're going to like talk back with them about it, right? The second phase he talked about with as he dealt with this journey of like handling objections was the educated approach. He was a little bit more sassy. He said he like more like he more argued with people of why, and kind of like almost wanted to prove them wrong of like, oh, network marketing is a scam. Well, what about this, and this? That's not a scam. It's not a pyramid. Did you know pyramids, like pretty much every organization, even the government, any corporate structure, anything and everything is built on a pyramid kind of structure? So are you saying that they're all a scam as well, right? So we would kind of more debate them, right? You don't have the time? Give me your phone. I'll show you how much time you're wasting on things, right? So again, that's the second phase, is like him trying to like prove, kind of like egotistical, I feel like a little bit in that realm. And then the third one he finally got to was this phase of being professional. Okay. And being professional is he created this 4 parts of dealing with any objection. And he's used this with millions of people all across. I mean, there's he works with network marketing companies all across different countries, languages, cultures, everything. So he's like, this works for everybody. Okay. So I'm going to go into these 4 parts. This is going to be the meat of what I want to teach you. Okay. Really, really awesome stuff. So he said I'm pretty sure he said he's going to go into a little bit more in depth with this in the future. But tomorrow he's going to we're going to give them objections, any type of objection, and he's going to handle them through this 4 things. Okay. So the 4 main parts of this, of handling any type of objection, is starting with listen. So if anybody has any type of objection or question, you want to listen to them. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, everybody. Okay. You want to listen to them, and you want to ask like clarifying questions in order to seek to understand. What is, if you guys know Stephen Covey and his 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, I think it's the 3rd habit: seek first to understand, then to be understood. You want to listen, okay? And be curious about what they're saying. Because sometimes we say something, how many times do we say something and really mean something else, or there's something else going on, right? I mean, this was going on with me, and I mean, to be honest, transparency, me and my wife last night, we got into a little discussion last night. And sometimes when things get a little emotional, we tend to say something and mean something else entirely, right? So what do we want to listen and be able to know what's really going on. And we listen with intent to understand, okay? So even following up with questions like, hey, I don't have the money. What does that mean? Really, if they don't have the money, it might really mean that you haven't shown me enough value or worth for this to be worth it for me. Okay. So we got to uncover that and really seek, because there's a difference of listening for like for me to like kind of ego, like, oh, I told you that you're wrong, versus like truly understanding. And how much better does it feel when someone tries to understand us? Those are, I feel like, a little bit more rare occasions when people like, it's a skill to listen. And if you hear someone listen to you and truly listen to you, you feel understood and you feel like, okay, they understand, right? And that leads into the second part. First part is listen. Second part is relate. People want to feel like you understand them, right? So this is relating. Relate and kind of validate them. You don't have to validate their story, but you can validate them. Hey, I just don't have the money. Like I just started up this new side business. I don't know if I have the time for this. Hey man, I totally get it. I've started up things in the past as well. And I know what it's like to start up new things and how much time it is. Like I totally get it. Right. Hey, you don't have the money. Hey, I get it. Like money is tight. I know normally at the end of the month, like I've been around friends that normally we all have maybe like $500 to like $1,000, or maybe we're just making ends meet. I get what it's like to barely make ends meet. You know, I've had the same thoughts, things like that. You want to relate to them. Okay. The third one is you want to tell a story. Okay. So recapping, first one is listen, 2 is relate, and 3, this third one is tell a story. Tell a story from your personal experience or from a story that you know of. So for an example, hey, I know that Susan Burton is a friend of mine. I don't know if she's on right now, but Susan Burton is a nurse. So if someone comes to me and says, "Oh, I don't really have a lot of time. I'm a nurse." Hey, guess what? I have a friend. She is awesome. I totally get it. I have a friend that's a nurse as well, and this is I get what it's like. I've talked with her about it. I know what your guys' schedule's like. Sometimes you have those 312s, and the fourth day you're just sleeping because you're so tired. I get it. You want to tell a story to be able to help relate to them. So you don't want to, I'm trying to look at some of this notes. Sorry, give me a second. You don't want to give them advice here. You don't want to tell them yes or no. Tell them a story to relate to them in their situation and how you were to come up with something. So if they don't have the money, hey, I get it. I was in the same situation. You're relating to them. Hey, in that same, this is what I found. So it's not like you're not pointing it at them. You're just telling it from your own experience. This is what I found, And then this leads into the fourth one is if I, would you, okay? If I were able to show you a way to make this make sense and be able to find a little bit more time, like if I were to show you some hacks and able to in your busy day of your life to make this work for you, or if I were to show you some ways, like financial ways to make this work for you, would you be interested in taking a look at it? If I were to show you some ways that you could find other people and not just go to your family and friends, great ways to find out, would you be willing to look into it and help? And I help train you and coach you through this. Would you be willing to listen to that? Would you be open to that? Okay. So those are the four things he said. Remember, listen. You want to listen for intent. Listen to understand. 2 is relate. 3, tell a story. And 4, if I would you. Okay. And a lot of it is so much of that theme. If you can kind of feel the theme, it doesn't feel salesy. I mean, I like it. I mean, I've used this before with people, not selling them or in any type of business. You're just trying to relate to them and tell a story about it rather than focused on them. Okay. So as I tell these things, I'm going to open it up to questions right now, or if any comments. Does anybody have any questions or comments, or even any additional nuggets with any things they kind of learn about this? Tanya, I don't know if you were listening on or anybody else that was watching with this, with the accelerator, but any other things that people would like to add to this? And again, is this making sense for everybody? I'm looking over here on Facebook, over here on Zoom. Any questions? Throw your hand up or anything. But I'm going to look over. Shelly Ramsey said, "Professional equals desire to serve. It removes the ego aspect." Yes, I love that. Thank you, Christina, for writing that in the chat. Will the script be available for reference? Great question. So we can create a script for it, but something that he was saying is he's like, all this, what I'm saying is not scripted. It's just a structure. It's just a framework. And I feel like when it's a framework, I feel like it's more fluid than I feel like sometimes when we have a script, it's kind of a little choppy. And to me, I mean, that's to me, I feel like there's a time and a place for a script. I feel like the script is kind of training wheels, but eventually we want to know how to ride the bike. So we're fluid and we know how this works. So it's kind of understanding the actual principle. Okay. Bill, you have anything for us?
Of course I do. You know me.
Love it, Bill. You're such a stud.
No, actually, this is great because in business, I mean, Robbie, you're a business major. I've been in business. These are the things that they teach, especially with conflict resolution, dealing with customers, any of those kind of things, listening and asking those clarifying questions to make sure you understand what they're saying. And then you have to listen to their answers too, not just ask the questions, but you have to listen to what they say for those answers. Then you can take your own personal experiences in there and relate it into whatever situation. But as this truly works, for whether you're dealing with customers, whether you're dealing, in this case, with recruiting, whether you're doing it in any situation, this is definitely, this isn't new stuff. This has been out there for for a long time, and a lot of us have heard it before, and it's great reminders, and
Mhm.
use what we know.
Exactly. That's good reminders. And even like, as you said that, like thoughts coming to my mind is like, I mean, I know we're talking about this in business, but this is an easy way to like talk about this with like a spouse or a partner or like a son or a daughter, anybody in your family to be able to know, like, listen, relate, tell a story. And if you tell a story of what you did, you're not giving them advice, because how many times does someone want to give you advice and you're like, I don't want advice. I just want you to listen, like, don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me how to fix it. Just listen to me,
Yep.
Love it. Love it. Thank you for that, Bill. Anybody else have any other further questions, comments, ideas? Tanya, you've been looking like you've been in some thought. Do you have any words of wisdom from Coach Tanya over there?
Oh, Robbie, do not light a match. Start my fuel.
I love it. I love it.
But yeah, today's course, I love the way that he does the role play. So I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. And I'm actually going to come up with some of my most outlandish objections and try to present them before him and get the response. So, and I encourage you guys to do the same here.
Yeah. And that could be a great way for us to like work through it. I mean, Tanya, that's a great idea. Like, even tomorrow, bring your objections and let's work through it together.
That was the best part to me when he said we need to embrace those objections. And yes, now when people like they hear and haw, I put on a big smile, like, here we go. So I understood today when he said embrace those objections, because yeah, I get them, and now he's teaching us how to respond. And it's nothing more, team, than learning, and Robbie just stated, the structure of the business. We already have the business. So now we're learning how to work the business within the business. And this structure is definitely what it does.
Love it. Love it. Thank you, Tanya.
Thank you.
It's even like for me, a homework. I don't know if Tanya, if you stayed around for the homework. I didn't stay around for the homework, but I think a homework, at least for us, if you want to chime in to know if you were there, but bring your objections of any outlandish objections that you've heard or faced, and let's work them together. Let's work through them. I mean, this could be an amazing tool for all of us that, like, oh, I've heard a crazy one. Let's talk about this one and let's work together, right? And I want this to be a community aspect and like a discussion, right? It's nice to come in and kind of like, hey, feed me, here's the training, but I want this to be a discussion and us talk through it together, because it's so much better when we can work through it together as like a group and a mastermind than just one person training the whole time. And that would be my vision of this.
The dare actually was to purposefully go out and seek those people who you know you're going to get the objections from. So revisit some of those objections. That was the dare. Next
Awesome.
24 hours, purposefully seek them and give it a shot.
Perfect. Love it. Okay. There's the dare, you guys. Any last questions over here? I'm not seeing anything on Facebook. If not, I'm going to wrap up. Sedaria, do you have any last words for us? If not, we can close up and see you guys tomorrow.
No, I got nothing today.
Awesome. All good, Sedaria. We're excited that Sedaria is here, and we're excited to see her next week. So we're excited.
I'm back on the next week.
All good. All good. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We love you. We're so grateful that you're here, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. We'll see you guys. Bye-bye.